covered by Gabby Marshall. Here comes Clark. How will she go for history?
That running logo bomb made Caitlin Clark the baddest scorer in NCAA basketball history as she tallied her 3,569th point with that insane triple. And exactly 16 days later, Caitlin stands in the face of history once again as she attempts to accomplish the unthinkable.
This for college basketball history. She does it with a foul shot.
That seemingly simple free throw right there just broke Pete Maravich's 54-year-old scoring record, thus making CC the most lethal bucket getter in college basketball history for both men and women categories. I mean, it goes without saying that shattering long-standing records are Caitlin's favorite pastime. And even though some people out there had doubted her since day one and didn't believe she could replicate her success in college when she jumped into the WNBA.
Will Caitlin Clark come into the WNBA and do what she's doing right now? Immediately? Absolutely not. Not gonna happen.
Okay. I mean, Camilla's coming, Caitlin's coming. There's more than just that are coming. What will the league have in store for them when they get there?
Look, SVP, reality is coming. There's levels to this thing.
Caitlin just made them all look like drooling fools, because every time they would say something about her, she would just slap them back by breaking records, one after another.
And it was a huge game, guys, for Caitlin Clark, sinking her 86th three-pointer of the season, breaking the WNBA record for the most three-pointers by a rookie in a single season.
And that's exactly why we're gathered around here, folks. Because in this video, I'll be running down every major WNBA record that Caitlin has broken during her historic rookie season. So, if I were you, I'm gonna pop a beer and sink on a cozy couch because you're definitely gonna enjoy this one.
Buckle up! Keep me in my seat, man, because this is gonna be fun.
Anyway, let's kick things off by talking about the series of mind-blowing stat lines that she racked up in just the span of 5 months. I mean, who could have forgotten the otherworldly performance she pulled off on the night of May 28th against the girls from La La Land? Well, to cut the story short and save you some time, Caitlin's fingerprints were all over the floor in that game as she dropped a stat line that could give Cheryl Swoops a heart attack.
Bentley stays with her, blocked from behind, that was Clark. Clark looking to push, cross-court pass. Pull, back to Clark, she will launch and bury a three.
After 40 minutes of play, CC became the first ever rookie to record 30 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists, 3 steals, and 3 blocks in a single game. And although the Fever came up short on this one, no one really cared about the Sparks winning, because Caitlin was basically the talk of the town after putting up crazy numbers like that. Well, since we brought up that mind-blowing stat line, Caitlin actually had a bunch of those, like when she slapped Diana Taurasi with a harsh reality across her face by dropping 15, 9 and 12 versus the Phoenix Mercury. Then she also gave her longtime rival, Angel Reese, as well as the rest of the Chicago Sky, some sort of a heads up on who's gonna win the Rookie of the Year award as she racked up 17 points, 13 assists, and 6 rebounds to go along with 4 steals.
A complete, well-rounded effort from her scoring to her passing to rebounding. She made a couple of key plays defensively.
And see, Caitlin was also able to squeeze some crazy outlier stats, like when she became the first ever player in both WNBA and NBA history to score 25 plus points, dish out 10 plus assists, grab 5 plus rebounds, and register 5 plus steals along with 5 plus three-pointers against the Washington Mystics.
Clark launches, hits a three!
Now, if you think those numbers were quite impressive, I'm here to tell you guys that those were actually just the tip of the iceberg, and I'm pretty sure that your eyes will pop out even more once you see the next couple of records that CC has broken, like what she did in this game right here. So, on the night of July 6th, the Fever welcomed the top-seeded New York Liberty at their home turf, even though the odds were stacked against them. Caitlin led her team to an upset win, while also taking down Sabrina Ionescu and Brianna Stewart at the same time.
And she'll take the first three-pointer and knock it down and treat the fans to that.
When the final buzzer sounded, Caitlin put up a monster stat line of 19 points, 12 rebounds, 13 assists, and 2 steals. And with that said, CC broke not just one, not two, but 3 different records on one night as she tallied the most point-assist double-doubles in WNBA history by a rookie, became the first Fever player to ever record a triple-double, and more importantly, the first ever rookie in WNBA history to record a triple-dub. I mean, it's scary to think that Caitlin is already dominating the WNBA in year 1 at just 22 years old. And speaking of being one of the young guns among the pack, CC has also taken advantage of her youth, as she broke several records at an unprecedented pace. See, against the Washington Mystics last June 7th, Caitlin became the youngest player to tally 30-plus points, 5-plus rebounds, 5-plus assists, and 5-plus three-pointers in a single game.
Back-to-back triples for Caitlin Clark. An absolute beautiful shot.
Then she also became the youngest player to record a double-double in terms of points and assists in back-to-back games, when she posted 15 and 12 versus the Mercury and 13 and 11 versus the Aces. Now, for you guys to have an idea of just how big of a deal those stat lines are, here's a quick rundown of her total production this season. I mean, in case you didn't know, Caitlin is the first WNBA rookie to reach 500-plus points, 200-plus assists, and 150-plus rebounds in a season. And, on top of that, she has also smashed a ton of statistical milestones along the way. And when I say a ton, it means that the list is so long that I just have to flash it on the screen in one go, because I'm gonna run out of time if I talk about each one of them. Anyway, after running down all those crazy stat numbers, let's switch gears for a second and talk about the single game records that she has broken so far. I mean, on top of this long list, there's the game against the Dallas Wings, where she dished out the rock like she was selling hotcakes, as she ended up with 19 assists, which is good enough to break 4 different assist records.
But Cowan, who couldn't finish, behind the back again for Clark, give her another assist and a chance for a 3.
Now from throwing dimes, let's move on to another area where she excels, and that is three-point shooting. I mean, being universally hailed as the female counterpart of Steph Curry, it's quite expected for Caitlin to also smash a couple of records from beyond the arc, as she currently leads all rookies in terms of total three-pointers made and tied with Crystal Robinson for most made threes in a game with 7. Anyway, with Angel Reese going out with an injury, there's no doubt in anyone's mind that Caitlin is going to be the surefire Rookie of the Year, as she has no clear competition for the award anymore. And if there's anyone out there who would object to that, allow me to pull this next graphic so we can finally bury this conversation to the ground. I mean, out of all the 17 qualified rookies this year, Caitlin leads all of them in terms of total points scored, assists, and three-point field goals made. And aside from that, she also tallied the most triple-doubles and double-doubles. Without question, we can argue that Caitlin is not only the best rookie to ever step foot in the WNBA, but also she's running for the best player in the league right now, outside of A'ja Wilson, based on the numbers that she's been putting up and records that she has broken thus far. Now, aside from posting those ridiculous stat lines, she has also become the first rookie in both WNBA and NBA history to be recognized as the Player of the Week for 3 consecutive weeks, while also being the only WNBA player in history to receive the highest vote count for an All-Star game with more than 700,000 votes across her name.